Welcome to Skills with Santosh. In this episode, we're looking at puddles and river crossings. Now, if you want to look as awesome as this guy, there's a few things we're going to need to learn and practice first. Now, river crossings are one of the most fun things you can do on a motorcycle, and it's a good job, because up here in the Himalayas, you're going to do a lot of them. But before we dive into them, there's a couple of things that we need to consider first, so we can get through them safely, rather than ending up dumping the bike on its side and filling our engine with water. So first up, if you're going to cross a river, you need to know how deep the river is and how deep your bike can go. Now, the new Himalayan was built to tackle these mountains, built to tackle these river crossings. So with that in mind, it's got a nice high air intake. It's right up here under the tank, which means we can safely cross rivers to a depth of about here. Always remember though, the faster you go through a river, the bigger a wave you cause, which changes how deep you can safely get through. Now, all rivers are the same depth on the surface, it's what's underneath that counts. We're looking for holes, larger rocks, logs, or deep patches of water. Walk the line you want to ride through the river and work out a good exit point and a good entry point to give you the smoothest ride through possible. You can tell a lot just from looking at the surface of the water. When the ripples are more pronounced, it tends to mean that the water is shallower. When it goes still and completely flat, those areas are often a lot deeper. Pay big attention and try not to end up in them. And likewise, if you can see a big wave of ripple, that probably means there's a massive rock underneath it, and that's another area we want to avoid. There really is no substitute for walking the river crossing. That's the only way you're going to truly find out where the holes are, where the big rocks are, where the soft patches are, and where the deep bits are. It's not such an issue on a little river like this, but when you get to the big stuff, that becomes critical.
The most important thing in a water crossing is pretty much body positioning and the position that you hold on the motorcycle, like we do in adventure riding, and it's pretty much the same here in the water. And you need to basically be always alert to be able to give it that zest, or you tone it down. But body positioning is very, very important because it allows you to tackle all obstacles you see or don't see it.
Now, what we're looking for in the approach to the puddle is a slow approach in a low gear. If you charge into the river really fast, A, it's hard to control your line, and B, the bow wave of water over the top of you can drown your engine and also ruin your vision. Once your wheels are in the water, we want to keep the bike driving forward. If we drive too hard and go too fast, it makes the bike hard to control. If we go too slow, we fall into every single hole. So we're looking for a nice steady pace with a constant throttle. It helps to be stood up on the pegs and letting the bike move around beneath you as it reacts to the surface below, all the while keeping your eyes fixed on that point you want to exit the far side of the crossing. Now, as we're exiting the river, we want a consistent drive up the far bank until we're clear of the obstacle. Then it's high fives all around, turn around and help your friends through. So there we have it, that's the basics of river crossings. A calm approach, pick a good line and walk the crossing first. Now get out there, enjoy the trails, and we want to see epic pictures of you crossing these rivers on your new Himalayan.